Welcome to another edition of Yorkshire Kris Weekly. Well, the weather's definitely turned in the last week. We've had storm after storm, really got battered by the wind, and actually lots and lots of rain, which is something we've really needed. But what it's meant is it's loosened all the ground, the wind's blown over lots of plants. This sunflower, which I didn't sow, just happy accident, has survived, but all the plants around it are leaning over. So we've got the cleome down here, and behind me looking a bit worse for wear. We've also had some of the bananas sort of go into an angle. Got a bamboo that's also fallen over that was recently planted earlier in spring. And basically things are looking a bit past the best now. So coming up in today's episode, we're going to be collecting seed, having a look at a mystery palm, and taking lots of cuttings. Now the Tiphonia is still flowering well. Lots of beautiful yellow, orangey yellow flowers. But some have gone to seed, such as this one down here. And I'll be collecting these seeds and I can sow these next year. It's basically just pulling these off. A little bit spiky actually, these, and if we just open that out we can see we've got lots and lots of seeds that we can keep. Each one can look in there, got loads. I'll just pull a couple out and show you. So I've pulled out a few of the seeds and you can see they're quite tiny. These are viable seeds that I'll keep for next year, store in somewhere cool, little paper bag in the fridge. And some of them aren't ripe seeds, like over here. These are just bits of the end of the flowers and debris and the chaff. But these are the proper seeds. Here we have these canna seeds, and these are ready where they've gone brown to harvest. So as you can see, if I just pick this off, and it's split open already, there are the canna seeds. As you can see, we have two really nice hard black canna seeds there, and there's plenty more ready to come in all these other cases. They're not quite ready yet. I can feel that one. There's a good 10 or so in this one, and this one's just going brown here, so I can take one out here. So this is my mystery palm. I know it's a Brea, but I'm not certain of the species or form. As you can see, it's fallen over due to all the winds. So let's just pick this up and then we'll have a closer look at it. So the top of the leaves are pretty much green, but with these like glowing silver edges, and it's silver, a bit more silver on some of the leaves than the newer ones. Underneath the leaves they are pretty silver really. It's a light reflex. It looks green in certain lights and then much more silver in other lights. Look at the petioles, the stem of the leaves here. These are smooth, there's no thorns or anything on these. And we move down, and that's the base of the palm. So it's not the common Brea armata or edulis. it could be Brea dulcis, the rock palm. That's what it could have been, but talking to people, it also could be Brea super silver, which I do have a super silver, which looks completely different to this, but it's much smaller, and that is over here. So this is Brea, apparently super silver, but that is as green as you can get. So it looks very different to this palm. Stand back, it looks even more silver. So it could be Brea nitida. So what do you think this palm is? I've had a good look now, all the features. Probably super silver. But what are your thoughts? And even after all the wind, my new tree fern is still standing. One type of plant that doesn't mind lots of rain, the carnivorous plants. We've even got some of the pitcher flowers here actually flowering. There's a flower at the top there. I've got the Venus flytrap still looking really happy. Remember, they stay out all winter, apart from a few days when it was really heavy sub-zero snow last year when they went into the greenhouse, the cold greenhouse at that time, so no heat. And same with the pitchers over here. These stay out all winter. This variety is actually from the Pennines, so it's a Yorkshire species. A bit of moss around there, and as you can see in that tray, got loads and loads of water from all the rainfall we had. Now the weather for the next couple of weeks is looking a lot cooler, a lot fresher, and it's time really to take some cuttings. I don't like taking cuttings too early because they grow too quickly before winter arrives, so I'll leave it till as late as possible. But the trouble is, if these, like Iricene or Coleus, get a touch of frost, then they wilt straight away and pretty much blacken off. So I can't leave it too much longer, because we've had a couple of nights down to about 6-7 degrees, and then a week ahead looking at 6-7-8 degrees at night time on many of the nights. So it's time to take cuttings, and I'm going to do it how I did last year, which is take nice about 10cm length, strip off the leaves around the base, and then place around in a pot of seed compost, cutting compost, around the edge of the pot, and put it somewhere warm with a bag over the top to keep the moisture in. And I'm also going to try another technique with these Iricene, and that is basically making 10cm cuttings again, cut off or remove the lower leaves, and then actually just put these in water, in a jar of water, and leave it in the house and see if they root, which they should do. So that's the two techniques I'm going to do. And we've got a couple of different varieties. So we've got this really electric pink Leticeum one here. We've got the one behind, the much broader leaves, like the blood leaf is a common name for it. And we've also got this yellow and green variegated variety. So we've got several different varieties that we're going to take cuttings. And all these here and around the garden, these were just taken as cuttings this time last year in 2 little pots, and it's covered a nice big area in the garden this year. The thing is, they've got to be kept warm, so at least 12 degrees really. I'll be keeping them in the heated propagator and windowsills, so it's probably around 15 degrees or so. So here I've got one of the Iricene cuttings from the garden, and I'm just stripping the lower leaves off these. I've cut the base of it with some scissors to get a nice clean cut. I'm pinching out the top just to make it bushy when it starts growing. And then I'm just going to put it in this water with foil over the top just to keep the cuttings separate, and also so they don't touch the bottom of the jar. And they're the final cuttings in the bathroom, several of them in one pot. This is my mix. I'm using John Innes No. 1. I'm also using horticultural
sharp sand, and I'm mixing these together about 50-50, and I'll put these into various containers before I put the cuttings in. Here are the containers without the cuttings, and then here are the cuttings with about, must be at least 50-60 different cuttings here, and that is job done.
Another job that I'll be cracking on with this week is sorting out the greenhouse, getting rid of all the debris from earlier in the season, cleaning out my propagator, getting all rid of the weeds and the sides, finish insulating it with bubble wrap for winter, and then start bringing in some of the cuttings and tender plants in the next couple of weeks. Thank you for watching this episode of Yorkshire Kris Weekly. Join me next week where I'll be doing more things in the garden.